All right, so now let's move these styles over to our style sheet. So first of all, we have our section where we've added a width, height. We can omit the border. We've added a padding, and we've set the box sizing to border box. So let's open up the style sheet for our icon box component. I'll do a quick search in our file structure for iconbox.scss, and I'll scroll up here. And if we just look at these side by side, we're adjusting the class icon box here. So we're overwriting the padding, so I'll go ahead and remove that. And we're setting the width to 223 pixels. We'll come back and figure out if that needs to be relative in a moment. Height to 223 pixels as well. It's going to be a box. Padding is now 22 pixels, and the box sizing is border box. Okay, now should these widths and the heights be variable based on the size of the text? Well, remember how we've talked about layout and how sometimes we want an absolute width of the elements on our site so that we can rely on the layout. If we allow the heights to be adjusted though, then a user can change the size of their font and some space will be allowed for the additional content to flow down without breaking our horizontal layout. So we could take a similar approach here, where we set the width to an absolute value, but the height to a relative one. Now the problem there is that our text could end up being bigger than the space that it will fit in vertically. This might be a little tough to visualize, but if we adjusted the width and height of this box according to the size of the base text, then the text would always fit inside. However, if we only change the height and not the width, then our text at some point is going to be bigger than the space it can fill. Now here's what I'm thinking. These boxes are going to appear next to each other, but as we make the browser smaller, they're going to cascade to the point where they're on top of one another, or there will be two across and two below. If we use a method where that flow happens automatically as the browser gets smaller, then it seems like the size of these boxes could be adjusted, and if they didn't fit in the horizontal space, then they just bump down automatically. So that might not make complete sense to you if you haven't run into this issue before, but hopefully it will become clear as we work through this process. So I think ultimately what I'd like to do is use relative units for all of this box here, so that all of it will scale with the size of the base text. So we'll set the width here using px2 rem, and we'll do the same thing for all of our other values.